Well, hey everybody, Jay Whitner here with Kickstarter Coaching, bringing you our video program, Crowdfunding Coverage. We spend about 10 minutes updating everyone about what's been going on in the crowdfunding space. February has a lot of good news that we'll get into regarding both Kickstarter and Indiegogo. There were 15 major campaigns in February, campaigns of $330,000 or more. These big campaigns brought in over $10 million in February. The largest campaign of the month was a video game called Kingdom Come Deliverance, and we'll talk about that later in our show when we talk about 8 campaigns specifically and some of their interesting characteristics. But first, our news. Indiegogo has been making some good progress in terms of developmental path for users of the platform after their campaign is over. They, a month or two ago, unveiled a partnership for film. This time they're doing something similar for music with Island Records. So people who do a music campaign on Indiegogo, there'll be a pathway for them to continue with their musical development using Island Records. And another sign of the pathway of capital raising, here's a company called Fuel 3D. They brought in $300,000 on Kickstarter, which is certainly a goodly sum. But that paved the way for them to get $2.6 million from venture capital. And now they're talking about their plans to do an early IPO, an initial public offering, to raise millions and millions of dollars for their 3D scanner. So another illustration of the role that crowdfunding is playing in the developmental path for firms. Bit of sad news, in February, Kickstarter was hacked. The silver lining, though, is that credit card data is all safe. The hackers got like some people's names and like addresses, but not their credit card information. So Kickstarter did recommend that people change their password, which I did. It's quick and easy, and our credit cards, according to Kickstarter, are all safe. Not sure when it happened exactly. Perhaps about a year ago, Veronica Mars ran a big campaign on Kickstarter to raise money for a film to follow up the TV series. It was wildly successful, brought in almost $6 million on Kickstarter, and I believe had the most backers of any campaign. About 90,000 people backed the campaign. The news is that the Veronica Mars movie is going to be released in March in the theaters, and I believe this is the first mainstream movie on Kickstarter, with Kickstarter roots, that's going right out to the theaters. There have been lots of film projects that have gone to Sundance and won awards, but I think this is the first one that's gone straight to the big theaters. More on Indiegogo. They are doing some supportive activities for campaigns oriented toward women. They're giving some discounts for a certain period of time. So if this appeals to you, be sure to check the Indiegogo site without delay. There may be an opportunity for effectively discounts on your cost to run a campaign. In our last news item, the SEC is getting a lot of feedback from the public about the proposed crowdfunding rules for Title III crowdfunding. This is the crowdfunding for Main Street, for everybody to be able to participate. The general consensus seems to be the compliance rules are too difficult and too expensive and should be loosened so that people can take better advantage of the Title III crowdfunding. Right now we're in a holding pattern waiting for the SEC to evaluate all this input and come out with the true regulations for equity crowdfunding, which hopefully will be in March, April. So we'll talk about 8 campaigns that ran in February, and we'll give a quick overview first. The average size of the campaigns we'll be talking about was about $740,000 versus goals. The average goal was $143,000. So they certainly exceeded their goals by a wide margin. The video length, the average video that was used was about 4 minutes long. That's a little bit deceptive due to the presence of one 8-minute video. So if you took the outlier away, it'd be quite a bit shorter. All the campaigns did a reasonable job with the updates, average 13 updates per campaign. And the length of campaigns, again, we've been seeing that somewhere in the 30-day-ish term seems to be optimal. If you take the one outlying campaign, the 90-day campaign out, that gives you a 34-day average, which ties in with that. Reward levels, we're seeing an average of 14, which I think sounds pretty reasonable. You want to have a variety of different rewards for the people without getting so complex it's a nightmare to go ahead and handle the fulfillment at the end. All these campaigns were the first campaign of the creators, and in general, these creators had a history with Kickstarter that they'd backed campaigns before. So what were the 8 that we thought were interesting to talk about? Well, the first one is customizable 3D tabletop miniatures. This is for gaming. What makes this neat partly is the technology. You go on to like a little app, sort of an interface, and you choose exactly what you want your miniature to be. You choose the race. You want your miniature, maybe it's a human or a dwarf or an elf or something. You choose the armor that it would be wearing, the clothing that it would be wearing, the weaponry, whether it's a man or a lady, and so forth. And then they 3D print exactly what you wanted with millions of combinations. It's incredible technology that they can do that at an affordable price point. They used a lot of stretch goals in their campaign, and they reached 10 of their stretch goals. And they had a nice supplementary video that they used. It was a Meet the Team video. Sometimes people show some team members in the main campaign video, but due to the pressure of time, it's really kind of skimpy. By doing a separate video for that, you're able to show the team in greater depth. The next campaign is Jump Cable. This one brought in about $370,000. The idea here is that the charger for your phone has a battery built into it, so that when you're recharging your phone, once your phone is fully charged, it automatically shifts the charging over to the charger itself charging its batteries. So you, in effect, always have a charged battery pack to back up your phone, which is a very nice idea for any of you that cope with the ongoing smartphone battle of your battery charge. This campaign had a nice pie chart that showed how funding was going to be used, which is something a lot of the donors are interested in. They also talked about prior projects they'd worked on and awards that they had won. So if you've done a project that is similar in some way to what you're doing now, and it was successful and you were recognized for that, be sure to tell people. That encourages the people that you'll be able to deliver on your project. They had some early bird rewards that they used, which is popular, that they give an extra discount to people that back the campaign early. Next we have Hello Ruby. This campaign got a lot of press attention, brought in about $380,000. The idea here is a book aimed at young children, teaching them some of the early concepts of computer coding, so they'll be equipped with the literacy currency of the 21st century. So the video was really cool. It was very playful, engaging video with this young lady who's writing the book. It had a lot of supplemental videos in the campaign, showing her in different situations, presenting to crowds like in sort of a TEDx format. And in a sort of growing trend, I think, they're offering 10 packs for kindergarten. Kickstarter has a limitation on how many units you can have in a reward. And so she's setting up for a kindergarten class. Oh, you order 10 books together to support the whole class. Next we have HeatWorks. This is a water heater that heats the water on demand for your house. They raised about $440,000. This touched on some themes that are very popular with Kickstarter. The green theme has lots of support. and of course saving money. So if you save your power bill and save your water consumption, you're also saving money. This campaign was a little bit unique in that they really dove in and tried to explain in depth why their product is better than the alternatives. So they took a lot of time to do that. I'm not sure that that's a good thing for most campaigns to put that amount of time in it, but I think all campaigns should really have some coverage of why you think your solution is better than the others, why you are ahead of your competition. Next, we have a photography campaign. This is lenses for your smartphones, basically. They have a two-lens thing. They have a wide-angle lens and a telephoto lens that you clip on your phone. And from all their photographs, it does a very, very nice job of really enhancing the capabilities of your phone, much better pictures. They also were candid about why they came to Kickstarter. They really explain that a little bit, why they want your help, why they're doing this. And they did a good job of doing that. And they also are doing something that's become somewhat common, I guess, on Kickstarter, is they have rewards that are really sort of branded for their Kickstarter. This is things that are engraved or have a certain coloring that you only get if you're one of the Kickstarter backers. People like that, being in on the very beginning and being like a founder of the organization or the product. Next, we had an Indiegogo campaign. This was medicine. It's about the disease, the Parkinson's disease. They brought in $550,000. What was really cool about this campaign is when they were putting the campaign together, they had somebody like they already had identified that was going to do matching funds of $100,000, which is quite motivational. So that was very cool. But they also had one of their rewards was be a fund matcher. You want to match $100,000, and somebody took it on their campaign. So then they had $200,000 of matching funds. This, I don't recall any campaign that I have noticed anyway that had that level of matching funds. So that's fantastic. Their campaign also had a lot of good supplemental video and some famous people that if you gave donations of certain amounts, you'd get emails or phone calls or whatever from these famous people, congratulating you, thanking you for the good work and support that you're providing. Next, we have the Glyph. This is a headset that provides very high quality audio and video in like an immersive environment. You have like a visor comes down in front of your eyes that you look at. You can look at the campaign itself for more technical explanations, but the image quality is awesome and it's not pixelated, so it looks great. They had some neat aspects of their campaign. First, they had very high profile endorsements from the tech community. They had people like the guy who founded Second Life is there talking about why their product is so good. Quotes and endorsements that really would resonate with people that might be interested in a device like this. They were very candid about this is a beta unit. This is not like something that you go and buy at Best Buy. It's a beta unit. So we're still like tweaking and working on it. And they were very candid with all that. They also had good quotes from the media about what they were doing. The biggest campaign of the month was a video game campaign called Kingdom Come Deliverance. It was in pounds. It's 1.1 million pounds. I think it was like $1.8 million is the conversion. Had a long video, longer than I would usually recommend, but worked for them. They brought in the big bucks. They talked about the experience of their team was one of their themes, that most people on their team have 10 years experience or more at video game development. They talked about why they were going to Kickstarter. The story is that they couldn't get the backing from the normal sources because this was like a historical game. It was like true to life. There's no dragons or wizards or anything. So they had problems with the normal channels. They needed more money, and their investor was like getting a little bit concerned. He said, show me that there's support. So they sure did. Here's almost $2 million of support. That's it for this month. Catch us next month. There's big news coming. I know already, but I don't want to cheat and tell you about it today. So we'll see you next time. Take care.